Someone asked me the other day why I do this show. And I think there are a few reasons that I do it. One, I have fun doing it. I love giving my opinion and defending it, and I love hearing opinions of other people. And I love just bouncing opinions off of each other. Another reason that I do it is I know a thing or two about business and marketing. I mean, I am studying it, and I've taken a few marketing classes, so it's kind of appropriate that I do a show like this. But I think the most important reason that I want to do this kind of show is I want to hold these companies accountable. They are throwing their products, ideas, and services our way, and as intelligent American consumers, we ought to expect that they give us the best, that they do not downplay our intelligence or talk down to us. And in response to my last video that I posted, we are honoring those companies that did that succeeded in advertising, whether it was entertaining or it was effective. These are the companies that succeeded in 2012. Alright, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting any longer. Let's get started as I count down the top 10 best ads of 2012. Number 10. Let's start this list off with a bang. You'll laugh later. You'll get it later.
When you have cable and your picture freezes, you get irritable.
Now there's this fallacy and argumentation known as the slippery slope fallacy. And while it's usually used by bad politicians in shoddy presidential debates, DirecTV decided to go another route and use it in their creative advertising. The result?
Your house explodes.
Oh, man! Wow, look, we can watch that again. Who doesn't like a house exploding? Unless it's their own or someone that they love. A fake house, then. Who doesn't like a fake house exploding? Now, there were a lot of other DirecTV ads over 2012, and the more that I watched them, the more I slowly came to conclude that DirecTV kind of has a bit of a Napoleon complex. They're not just out to conquer cable, they're out to conquer everyone. With ads like these, DirecTV is blowing the competition away. Okay, I'm done with the explosion jokes. I can be funnier than that, trust me. Number 9. A while back, I came across this video on YouTube of those two girls from Community doing a burlesque striptease dance. This ad aired before that video, and it was so good that I put my plans to view that burlesque striptease video on hold, just so I could check out this ad service. Allow me to reiterate my initial thoughts on viewing this ad.
I did it to be quicker.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Just to stay sharp.
Oh, sure.
To remember people's names.
Remember people's names? I could definitely use that. What is this?
To concentrate a little better.
Now, I realize that this is an incredibly subjective choice, but once you get past all of the production value and the creative storylines, the main point in an ad is to convince you to buy its product or service. That's something that not a lot of ads can say they have done for me, and yet this ad did it. And as an objective statement, this ad is pretty good too. It's simple yet creative, it's really artistic with its little doodles, it uses personal testimony pretty well even if it might be fake, and it advertises its service really well. So well that I actually had to check it out. This might not appear on anyone else's list of the best ads, but it did to me what most ads could not do, and I had to give it credit just by putting it on this list. And yes, just so I can hold on to my man card, I did in fact watch that burlesque video eventually. Next ad! Number 8.
Mom! Hey, Mom!
Oh, how I'm going to alienate some people with this choice.
Parents in bed, but it's just 8 o'clock. That's why they taught you should always...
Now, I've already heard a lot of heat about this ad, about how it's disgusting, about how it mixes sex with food. But I know I'm not the only one that likes this ad, so I think I can make a pretty good case for it. First of all, this kid's expression of horror is just awesome. I mean, you don't really have to have the country guy saying what this kid just saw. No, all you just need to see is that kid's face, and you know what he just witnessed. Secondly, I know that food and sex are in the same commercial, but they're not put together. I mean, you don't put eggs and flour next to each other and you automatically call that a cake. So, really, I think it's a bit of an overreaction that people have. Plus, if you want to get mad at a commercial for mixing food and sex, I have a few Carl's Jr. commercials that you can vent your anger at. Third, it's also funny because it's kind of the last thing you would expect from a pasta sauce commercial. On top of that, it's a common thing for kids to walk on their parents putting the pasta inside the pot, right? I'm not the only kid that has gone through something similar in this commercial, right? Right? Oh crap, we only have plenty of. And I guess I should talk about the ad campaign that this commercial was a part of. It was pretty funny too, and it was kind of creative, acknowledging that childhood can be tough and how ragu can be a prescription for those ailments. But ultimately, I decided to go with this one just because of the hilarious first impression it made on me. Nice job, Ragu. You have my approval. Just as long as you don't do like this. Number 7. Okay, this last year was 2012. There was one major cultural event that happened this year, happens only every 4 years. What was it? No, but that is a good guess. Alright, one major event that happened this last year. What was it? Really? Alright, well, besides the election and apparently the release of Twilight Breaking Dawn, there was one other major worldwide cultural event that happened this year. It happened every 4 years. What was that event? The London Olympics! The 2012 motherfucking London Olympics! Okay, sorry. Got a little heated there. In addition to the big spectacles and the amazing performances that our athletes gave, I also realized that Olympic ads usually really step it up a notch, especially when it's a proud sponsor of the Olympics, like Visa.
When you wish.
Third attempt at a new world record.
They fly just a little bit higher.
One trend that I've noticed among Olympic ads is that they tend to not advertise a product or a service of a company, but rather some kind of ideal or mindset. What better mindset to advertise to the United States of America than that of unity? With highlights from past Olympic events, all playing over a sepia tone that is warm and welcoming. All the while, the narration is provided by some underground up-and-coming rising star. I can't exactly remember his name. And the interesting aspect about this message is that it advertises that we should not be united because it's the right or patriotic thing to do, but we should be united because in doing so, we give a final push of motivation that makes our athletes excel to the point of perfection. And if there's anyone who cared about the Olympics, I'm pretty sure that they were motivated to stand behind our American athletes just from this ad. Number 6.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
This clip is from a commercial that was part of Apple's Get a Mac campaign, better known as I'm a Mac and I'm a PC, or Mac versus PC, or whatever. I credit this ad and this ad campaign from moving Apple from beyond a smart computer company to pioneers of innovation. So why am I bringing this up? Because it is just hilariously and tragically ironic that one of Apple's competitors used the same strategy against them this last year.
It's going to be like a precious jewel.
2012 saw the release of the iPhone 5, and while its general release and commercial reception has been Alright, best thing to come for that was motivation to create an attack ad like this.
Welcome back. Guess that Galaxy S3 didn't work out.
No, I love the GS3. It's extremely awesome. I'm just saving a spot in line for someone.
Hey!
Hey, Mom, Dad.
Oh, thanks for holding our spot.
Oh yes, the attacks are quite exquisite. The subtle stabs that Samsung makes at Apple lovers just has to hurt. And while they are waiting in their 7-hour queue lines, Samsung users are out and about, sharing data through touch, enjoying their larger screens at faster 4G, and multitasking with their various apps. All the while, the Apple lovers still decide to remain in their queue lines for their supposedly inferior products. Wait. I actually happen to like Apple products!
What is that?
Hey, what'd you just do?
Oh, I just sent him a playlist.
Oh my god, is this all true? Do we just blindly purchase the Apple products simply because they're cool and not because they're technologically superior? Are we really like sheep, just crowded into our lines waiting for the next thing to come while the next big thing is already here? Are we no longer that cool?
Hey, Mom, Dad.
Oh, thanks for holding our spot.
Hey, man.
Oh, hey.
How's it going? What is that?
Hey, what'd you just do?
Oh, I just sent him a playlist.
Like touching phones?
Yep.
That's a new Samsung.
It is. It's pretty cool.
But I kind of like it.
This one's 4G.
Yeah, we've had that for a while.
This one's got a big screen.
This one has a bigger one. And we can share videos instantly. You can watch a video while you're sending an email.
Well, we're gonna get that, for sure. Maybe not this time, but the next time, right?
The next big thing is already here, the Samsung Galaxy S3.
Ow! God almighty, that hurt! Number 5.
I'm a raccoon.
Oh yeah, Mayhem from the Allstate commercials has quickly become one of my most favorite commercial icons from the last few years. I certainly like him a lot better than other car insurance mascots that are either outdated or overrated. And you know what? I'm not the only one who shares these sentiments for this well-dressed harbinger of doom. These ads have won multiple awards and accolades, and it's easy to see why. Nearly everything about these ads is spot on. The timing, the wordplay, the slapstick, the creativity, the facial expressions, the messages, everything about these ads works, and I have yet to come across a single ad that I did not like. I'm such a huge fan of this guy that I actually dressed up as him for Halloween once. Hell yeah. And the interesting thing is that we did not see too much of Mayhem in 2012 as far as I saw. And I think that's kind of a good thing because I really do not want to see this guy burn out. And it's also a good thing because when he does deliver, oh, it's just so nice to still see that happen. Now, I typically don't follow March Madness, but if this were the only ad to appear, I would have been more inclined to fill out a bracket. The great thing about this ad is that it relies on subtlety. It is based off of the character that Mayhem has become, meaning that it doesn't have to resort back to its original format that it has for most commercials. You don't need to know what he is. You can already tell just by what is bound to happen. And when he makes his move, it's a perfect blend of subtlety and over-the-topness.
You could be wishing it was February.
I'm practically motivated to throw a flat-screen TV out my window just to see if it'll do damage to an SUV. Well, not really. There was another similar ad like this released around the same time, and it's pretty funny as well, but it still follows the same formula. So I went with this ad just because of the different route that it took and the honor that it gave to its beloved character. Number 4. Oh sweet, an ad from Google. This is going to be entertaining. If there's one company that I would love to work with its marketing department, it would be Google. Not only have they proven themselves to be expert advertisers, they have also shown multiple times that they are master storytellers. It just astounds me every time how they're able to tell such an intricate and heartwarming story in just under 2 minutes. And while I would not call this ad their best ad, it still hits me nonetheless. As an ad, it showcases many uses that Google carries. I mean, it's just really remarkable how they incorporate so many of their services into the story. Images, maps, translate, docs, and a whole bunch of other services as well. And as a story, it's about a guy who's trying to make peace with his long-lost lover, and probably do more than make peace. The great thing about this story is its ambiguity. The ending is left out in the open for the viewers to decide. We don't know if they get back together. That's up to you. You think about whether or not she will take him back. One honorable mention that I should talk about is this other ad where a college freshman tries to stay in contact with her widowed father. It's another heartwarming ad as well, but it's kind of corny and it doesn't exactly advertise Google services as well as this coffee ad. So I put the coffee ad in this spot instead. But still, it is nice to see a company talk about the benefits of good fatherhood and upbringing. And when it comes to good motherhood, this next company has that taken care of. Number 3, and we're back at the Olympics, where we are taking a look at one of the more prominent ad campaigns. This one comes from P&G, where they took a stand honoring good mothers and the proper upbringing that they could have on a child. And how they did is that they had Olympic stars give testimonies to their moms on how well of a job they did in raising them. That's admirable. But you know what? Why give praise to one mom when you can honor the entire concept of proper motherhood? Now, as I said, most Olympic ads tend to advertise some kind of idea rather than a product. And that was definitely the case here. This is the shining example of how you give thanks to the Olympic stars and how they came to be. What makes this message stand out is that P&G is saying that motherhood is practically universal. In this commercial, you have different settings, backgrounds, cultures, and yet it still seems as if these mothers go through the same routine of raising kids. Now, I know that this is primarily geared towards Olympic athletes and their families, but I feel as if every good and honest mother can relate to this ad and what is going on in here. From the trivial, mundane routine of life to the successes, the failures, and just being beside your kid, all ultimately leading up to the triumphant glory that is being an Olympic athlete and what effect a mother had on that child. It's really one of those ads that I can't really explain in full detail. You just have to watch it for yourself and let your emotions just run free. It is easily the most heartwarming ad on this list. Yeah, you know what? Hi, Mom. I'm just calling to say thank you. Because of how you have raised me, I am who I am today. A starving college student who makes fun of Target ads rather than reviews his homework or studies. Number 2. During the Grammys this last year, Chipotle released their first televised ad ever, which told a powerful tale of a farmer who decided to take a stand against the industrial farming that was around him. It is indeed a very heartwarming and uplifting tale, but unfortunately, due to copyright issues, I cannot actually show any of the ad. And yeah, I consider that enough of a reason to drop it down from the #1 spot. This easily could have been the best ad of 2012, but because Chipotle feels like they have to keep just a tight, life-sucking grip on their IP, yeah, that was enough of a reason for me to drop it down from the #1 spot. Still, I believe that everyone should see this ad. I would love to see more ads like this in the future from companies, where they decide to advertise what they stand for rather than what they sell. Nice job, Chipotle, on cultivating a better world. Just ease up a bit. And number 1. Okay, long before I even started or came up with this series, I did something that a lot of people did. I talked about Super Bowl commercials when the game was done. And I think that there was a general consensus that I was a part of this last year that the ads were pretty good. I mean, there were some instant classics as well as some absolute stinkers. But none were as more poignant as when Clint Eastwood gave a monologue encouraging America that their second half is about to come. In a time where economic troubles were still at the heart of many Americans and their lives, this was a very inspirational ad to appear, especially during the halftime show. So yeah, that ad definitely deserves to be at the number.
He bought it.
Oh wait, I forgot all about this ad from Honda that had Matthew Broderick reflecting his famous role as Ferris Bueller. Oh man, with over 20 callbacks to the John Hughes classic. Yeah, I would say that this deserves to be number. Oh no, wait, there was that ad from Kia that had Motley Crue and Chuck Liddell and a bunch of hot ladies that I don't know the names to and I will never get with. Yeah, I would say that deserves to be it. Oh no, hey, I forgot all about the Chevy ad that had the graduate who was ecstatic about getting a car that actually wasn't. Oh, that was hilarious. Oh wait, the other Chevy ad that had the Sonic that did all the stunts. I mean, how awesome was it to see a car skydive out of a plane? Oh yeah, that. Oh no way, the Hyundai ad that had the cheetah that chased down man because he felt gypped. Ha! Oh, that had me on the floor cracking. Oh, so did the Fiat ad that had the sexy Italian supermodel. Oh, my Italian blood was just rising at that. Yeah. Well, okay, if it hasn't been made clear by now, the car ads this year really kicked ass. I'm not sure what it was this year, or if it was just this year in particular, but when I was researching ads for this list, I found that a lot of the car ads left a positive effect on me. Even the ones that kind of fell flat were at least entertaining enough for me to keep my attention. So you know what? I'm not going to put just one ad at this spot. No, I'm giving this spot to every single car ad that aired during the big game. They succeed and they set the standard for what all ads should do whenever they air. Oh hey, you can't do that. You can't put more than one commercial at one spot. That's not fair. That's lazy. Come on, you can do better than that. Shut up, fool. It's my list. I can do whatever I want. Whenever I think good Super Bowl ads, these are some of the newest ideas that come into my mind. So I can't really choose which one should get the spot, and I'm not going to. Nice job to all of the car companies. Share in this glory. And that does it for this very special episode of Ad Breakings. Thank you for watching. If you feel like I missed an ad in this list, feel free to comment and leave a link. Or, it could be in this montage that's going to be playing over the credits. And the music for that montage will be, Joe Esposito. That's a good choice. This has been another episode of Ad Breakings. Thanks for taking a break with me.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. And nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
You're still here? Do you have anything better to do? Go on, get going. Go.